President Cyril Ramaphosa will today deliver an update on presidential initiatives aimed at stimulating youth employment at a local stadium in Mthatha in the Eastern Cape. Natasha, I'm hoping that we have a better line now. Talk to us about what's happening there now since we last spoke.
Apologies for that technical error earlier on, Mkolisi. But indeed, as I was saying earlier on, while we're waiting for the president, we've been engaging with young people who have come out in their numbers here at the Mthatha Stadium. I'm joined by a person who's no stranger to the media, who's the owner and founder of Smooth Skinny Socks. Thank you so much for joining us on SABC News. Always a pleasure having you here. You're here today as a young person, being a young entrepreneur. Do you think that government has assisted you, and your business, and does actually government empower young people like yourselves?
There is a lot of help waiting for young people out there. There's agencies like the National Youth Development Agency, there's CEDA, it says that people die because of the lack of knowledge, and I think the reason why a lot of people feel like they are not getting assistance is because they don't know that help is there. Me, on my personal accord, I've operated my business for almost 7 years without approaching the government because I lived on the notion that the government doesn't assist anybody. But 3 years ago, I decided to knock on all government doors and put in my proposals, and that is when I started seeing a positive response. So there is a lot of help that government is putting in place to help young people in business.
But what challenges have you faced in your business? You talk about you being in business for 7 years. I do understand that you're also, branching off into the motor industry. Yeah. What challenges do you face as a young entrepreneur?
The biggest and obvious one is access to funds. It's very hard in the South African landscape as a young person to come up with an idea. If you're coming up with a cool idea of selling socks or shoes or even a car like we're venturing into, the market is not can't easily adapt to it, But I think another challenge is also converting our local people to understand that our products are quality as well, and in as much as that they're expensive, it's because we're trying to produce quality, So we're experiencing both challenges when it comes to accessing funds and also converting the audience to buying local products.
And your message to government, young people have been calling for policies, for youth development. Young people have been saying that, listen, government, it's time you actually invest in us, as young people are the future of tomorrow.
You know what? If we look at history, 3 days before 1976, the Soweto uprising, young people, students, took it upon themselves to go in the streets and challenge the system. So I feel that it's not the government's responsibilities to change the status quo. It is the young people's responsibility to get off social media and go on the streets and make sure that change is imminent, it happens, So it's more of a personal responsibility than us pointing fingers at government. The government has already created an environment for us to thrive. The only thing we need to do as young people, we need to take initiative, we need to come together and need to make things happen.
Thank you so much, Swu, and all the best with your business opportunities and your ventures. Let me just also take this conversation to an educator here in Mthatha. Mama, thank you so much for joining us on SABC News. We were talking off air. You're an educator, Mama. Sometimes you'd find young people go through a lot. We've got the issue of substance abuse, of mental illnesses. How do you ensure, as an educator, you help children not to actually fall into things of taking drugs and alcohol abuse?
Oh, thank you. Snotile Fongolana from Mthatha Special School. I'm an educator there. Mthatha thina sizititshala zaphaya into esesiyenze xa ubonile uba there's a problem mhlambe ngabo bantwana bathile, we just consult i-social workers zethu because i-Mthatha Special School ine-social workers zayo ezihlala phaya ezincedisana nathi sizititshala nabo nabantwana on the other hand. Yes.
And Mama, your expectations for today as an educator, what do you expect to hear from the president?
Into endiyi-expectile namhlanje ukuyiva ngopresident is that nabo abantwana bethu abane-disability batrithwe ngendlela e-right, banikwe nemfanelo abazidingayo, because it's very painful ukutitsha abantwana but zingekho insiza kufunda. ezidingekayo, more especially abantwana abane-disability.
Mama enkosi for isikhathi sakho ne. So let me also just take this conversation to two very special ladies here. There's a matriculant from the nearest special school here, and I'll just ask the lady here to interpret for us because I do understand that she is deaf. So I mean, as a young child, as a young learner, what is the significance of June 1976 to you?
Oh, what I know about June 16 is that as history, we need to learn about our languages. We fought for us to learn our own languages. Yes.
Also, I mean, can you just please ask her that, you know, as a person who can't hear, what challenges does she actually face?
Challenge what I've faced as a deaf person, it's about what, when I'm deaf, it's the same that I cannot even communicate with other people. And some people, they abuse me because I always keep quiet and knowing that they didn't understand me, what I'm saying, when I communicate with them.
And what does she expect to hear from the president today?
Well, I want president to do what? To advise people for not abusing us or women because we are all humans.
Thank you so much, Nkosi. Thank you. Well, Mkolisi, there you have it from various views of young people, you know, just saying that standard government actually, you know, empowers, you know, young people, you know, advocating for youth development. But also there we heard from Sbu saying that young people need to take it upon themselves, you know, to actually advance the interests of young people, same as the class of 1976, where over those 20,000, you know, young people took to the streets and, you know, said enough was enough against the draconian system, against, you know, a medium of instruction that they did not want, that did not help them at that time. But of course, the program has started now. The two main, you know, speakers on the podium right now. And of course, we expect President Cyril Ramaphosa to address the attendees at around 12 o'clock. With that said, it's back to you in studio.